watching Twin Tiers Evening News with Jeff Androlonis and Alexa Olson. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, WVTT proudly presents Twin Tiers Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson. Jeff Androlonis is off tonight. We're reporting from our radio studios here at News Radio 96.7 WVTT tonight. The big story on Twin Tiers Evening News: many Americans suffer from Super Bowl fever. WVTT's Valerie Tysander has the diagnosis.
Last night's Super Bowl was the most watched TV event in U.S. history. Nielsen ratings say 71% of U.S. TVs were tuned to the Super Bowl, and for the first time, the Super Bowl was streamed in China on 7 different channels. This means that more people than ever are likely to suffer from the so-called Super Bowl fever today. According to a study by the Workforce Institute at Kronos, Super Bowl fever will hit millions of U.S. citizens today. The study estimates around 4.4 million people got to work late today, and another 1.5 million called in sick.
I talked to our HR department, and they didn't really have any comment on that. I don't think we're having much effect.
The people who managed to make it to work today are still talking about last night's game, the Beyoncé halftime show, the blackout, and the Baltimore Ravens' 34-31 victory over the San Francisco Niners. It all seems to be the top water cooler talk today.
I am a big Ravens fan, as you can see, and I'm very proud to be at work today, knowing that my team won. Sorry for all you San Francisco fans, but it was a good game.
To watch WVTT's Valerie Tysander's story again, you can go to our website. That's WVTTnews.com. The 23rd Congressional District has unemployment rates much higher than the national average. WVTT spoke with U.S. Congressman Tom Reed, who broke down the numbers for us.
As many of you know, the department came out with an unemployment rate for January that inched up to 7.9%. We're seeing in the district unemployment rates pushing almost 10%, 9.8% in Chemung, Schuyler, and Steuben counties, for example. Also, when I looked at the Federal Reserve information and the U.S. Department of Commerce, the economy had shrunk and contracted by 0.1% in the last quarter, 2012.
Reed says that he's quite upset with an announcement on January made by the White House to dissolve the Jobs Council.
This reinforces to me that our number one priority needs to be strengthening this economy and creating jobs. And when I watched the White House announce that it was disbanding its Jobs Council and that they hadn't met in over 12 months, that is very concerning to me. Our number one issue needs to be, and continues to be, improving this economy and getting people back to work.
Pennsylvania Senator John Utachak says beer distributors are leery of Governor Cormitt's proposal to privatize the state's liquor system, in part by offering expanded licenses to the distributors that will allow them to sell alcohol in their stores. Now, the distributors say that although it looks like a good deal for them, in the reality of it, the numbers don't add up.
To pay a $150,000 license fee to get an enhanced license to be able to sell wine and six-packs or potentially liquor, they're only allowed to have one store, one distributorship. Now you're going to compete with the grocery store, the pharmacy, the convenience store, and not on a level playing field.
To read more on this story, go to our website, WVTTnews.com. A lake-effect snow warning is in effect until 4 tomorrow morning for Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, and southern Erie counties. We could see an accumulation of 10 to 12 inches by tomorrow. Snow hasn't started flying here in the Twin Tiers yet, but we could see it starting later on. Following up on a story we broke for you on Twin Tiers Evening News on Friday, Community Bank in Alfred was held up Friday evening. Police were able to track down the suspect in the latest robbery. They allege Scott Wade made off with cash while pedestrians chased him to a getaway car. Police chased Wade's car until he crashed on Waterwells Road. He had to be taken to the hospital for treatment, but then was sent to Allegheny County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bail. There are still no leads on that other robbery that happened last month on January 4th. 9 arrests after a drug bust in Olean. The Olean Police Department raided the North 7th Street residence of David Foster. They confiscated heroin, crack cocaine, marijuana, hypodermic needles, and cash. 8 other people were arrested at the residence and charged with drug possession. Police say it appears they were Foster's customers. Two men arrested after an alleged robbery in Olean won't face court action until next week. Justin Safford and Anthony Vavrican were arraigned and formally charged with attempted burglary. Safford is also facing assault charges after allegedly shooting a .50 caliber black powder gun in the incident, missing his intended victim. The victims in the case are identified as Dijon Brown and Takori Radin of Buffalo. Police say the incident was drug-related. Cattaraugus County lawmakers will be considering an agreement with the Erie County Medical Center. Monthly HIV clinics at the Cattaraugus County Health Center have been taking place for the past several years, but that contract is up for renewal. Lawmakers are considering whether or not to renew. The oil and gas industry is making strides towards greener practices to ease environmental concerns by developing non-toxic fluids for hydrofracking. Though it's not clear if the product will be widely embraced by drilling companies, some environmental groups say they welcome development, and they still have questions about other issues caused by drilling. The Route 219 Corridor Development Committee will meet next week to discuss new developments for the expansion of the Route 219 Expressway to Interstate 86 in Salamanca. Now, expansion has been halted until the required supplemental environmental impact statement is complete by the State Department of Transportation. In order to complete the extension, the state would also need more than $750 million and to reach an agreement with the Seneca Nation to obtain a right-of-way across the Allegheny Territory. Improvements for Port Allegheny School District after showing up on a list of the worst 15% of schools in Pennsylvania last year. School district officials are relieved that they did not show up again on this year's list. According to reports, school officials have tried to reach out to state education department to find out why the school was so low on last year's list, but got little response and no definitive answers. And President Obama is advocating helmet safety, not in the pros, but in youth football. Obama says he worries about young boys who don't understand the risk and symptoms of a concussion if they're hit too hard. Now, many sporting goods companies are already working on making the game safer. Reebok is developing a device that fits under the helmet and tracks how hard a person is hit. It then flashes red, yellow, or green to notify coaches of a possible head injury. Much more to come. This is Twin Tiers Evening News.